For shippers, for freight forwarders, for carriers, there's a responsibility that comes with transporting dangerous goods by air. That responsibility is to make safety the #1 priority. Why? Because the risks are much greater when cargo has the potential to cause death, serious injury, or major property damage. But tragically, accidents do happen. And if your company is ever involved, a basic principle will come into play. If there's something you could have done, it's something you should have done. In other words, if there was some way you could have learned how to properly declare dangerous goods, how to properly package dangerous goods, or how to properly handle dangerous goods, then that's what you should have done. Any failure to get the correct information and put it into practice means that you could be held responsible for the outcome of an accident related to dangerous goods. And that means heavy fines, a possible loss of business, and the knowledge that your negligence caused pain and damage. Even in a best-case scenario, where no accident occurs, failure to comply with the regulations can have serious consequences. For instance, what happens if a life-saving vaccine or a radioactive substance is needed for medical reasons, and you cause a delay that makes them lose their potency? Of course, most people in the cargo industry do behave properly. Only a small minority purposely cut corners when they ship dangerous goods. But what many responsible professionals sometimes overlook is that the field of dangerous goods is getting more and more complicated all the time. So even if you have had IATA's basic training, you might need advanced training or a refresher course. Even if you already consult a copy of IATA's dangerous goods regulations, you might benefit from a version on CD-ROM to help you pinpoint exactly what you need more quickly and more easily. And even if you operate in just one sector of the cargo industry, you might be in better shape if you familiarized yourself with regulations that apply to at least one of the other sectors. What it all boils down to is this: what you don't know can hurt you, and it can hurt your business, an aircraft, or possibly even a plane load of people. Just look at the numbers. During the decade of the 1990s, the Federal Aviation Administration recorded a staggering 8,274 incidents directly related to hazardous materials in the United States. Almost all of these incidents involved dangerous goods that were not declared, either intentionally or through ignorance of the regulations. The most tragic example took place in 1996, when a ValueJet DC-9 crashed into the Florida Everglades, killing 110 people. The cause was identified as a fire, started by a consignment of oxygen generators. These items had not been declared as dangerous goods, nor adequately packed, labeled, or checked, and the result was disaster. Even in less dramatic cases, the numbers are still disturbing. According to the FAA, a total of 322 air travelers in the U.S. were injured during the 1990s, all because of negligence related to dangerous goods. And what is the financial impact on business in the air cargo industry? Here are 3 examples that occurred in the year 2000. In New York State, a courier picked up a package that had been flown in from the Far East. The package, which contained an infectious substance, was properly declared and properly labeled. But before the package was sent on the next leg of its trip, the courier redeclared it as a non-dangerous medical shipment. As a result, the FAA cited the courier for offering hazardous materials for transportation by air, even though it was not properly classed, described, packaged, marked, or labeled. Penalty proposed by the FAA, $84,000. An Oklahoma company wanted to ship 2 containers of flammable liquid. But because the shipment was not properly prepared, the courier wisely refused to accept it. Instead, the company's improperly trained personnel tried to convince an air carrier to transport it. Penalty proposed by the FAA, $275,000. In Tennessee, a National Airlines local facility was inspected by the FAA. The check revealed that proper training in the handling of dangerous goods had not been given to 22 customer service agents and 4 air freight employees. Penalty proposed by the FAA, $130,000. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Companies that fail to comply with dangerous goods regulations can also face costs related to delayed shipments, rejected consignments, cleanup and disposal, out-of-service aircraft, and higher insurance premiums. On the other hand, following the rules means that shipments travel safely and arrive on time. It also means that because your company operates efficiently, it gains a reputation for prompt, reliable service. From a statistical perspective, the benefits are just as clear. Only a tiny fraction, less than 1%, of all the incidents related to the shipments of dangerous cargo by air involve goods that are properly declared, packaged, marked, labeled, and documented. Full compliance with the regulations means that dangerous goods can be transported by air as safely as general cargo. To achieve this level of safety and compliance, you need information in all its forms. Trusted reference manuals like IATA's Dangerous Goods Regulations. Top quality training of the type that IATA provides for professionals at all levels of proficiency. And conferences where the latest developments are discussed in an international forum. Just think of IATA as your single source for the information that keeps you safe and competitive. And remember, today's investment is tomorrow's protection. Learning what you need to know about dangerous goods is your best way to avoid causing injury, irreparable harm to your business, or even death. So if you're not sure what's dangerous, why it's dangerous, or when it's dangerous, get the facts, because nothing is more dangerous than being uninformed.